Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to use VBA in order to extract dates from timestamps, and our approach will be very similar to what we did in the previous video with the date function. We're going to extract the year, the month, and the day in order to construct a date. So Alt F11 to launch the Visual Basic Editor. I'm gonna start writing a function which I will call getDate, and it's going to accept one argument, which I will call dateTextAString, and the function itself should return date. And now I'm going to declare a few variables, although we don't need them, but I think this will make the function more understandable. So I will declare y for the year, and it's going to be of type long, m for the month, also of type long, and d for the day, also of type long, and yeah, maybe we can simply use integer. And now for the year, we can use the left function. The string will be whatever is provided here in the date text argument, and we need the first 4 characters, but the left function always returns text. And since we want a number, and we can use here the convert long function in order to nest the left function in it. And then we can do the same for the month, but actually for the month we will use the mid function, and the string will be date text. The start number will be the 6th character because the year contains 4 numbers, and then we have dash, so this is going to be 6, and the length will be 2. And once again, we will have to nest this in the convert to long function. And finally, the date will be the mid function. The string will be date text. The start number will be 9, and we need 2 characters, and we need to wrap this, nest this in the convert to long function. And finally, we can assign for the getDate function. We can use here the DateSerial function in VBA, and it requires year, month, and date. So here we can pass our variables. And just to test that it works, if I copy this, and in the immediate window, question mark, get date, and pass here what I have copied, and click enter, it immediately returns November the 17th, year 1978. Now, just one thing I'd like to mention here, although maybe you will never face this in real world datasets, but the DateSerial function in VBA doesn't count exactly the dates as the date function in Excel. And what do I mean by that? Is, let's say I will go to the last row here, and let's construct the day of January the 1st, year 1900. So according to Excel, this is the first date, and if I check here if the date type was number, it's going to return 1. Now, if I copy this and use the DateSerial here in the immediate window, and actually I need to pass it as integer, so 1900, January the 1st, now this should return 2. Actually it returns the date, but I can convert it to number. Now it returns 2. And the DateSerial function in VBA, actually the first date is December the 31st, year 1899. But I think both Excel and VBA count the numbers in the same manner after 1st of March, year 1900. So unless you're working with some historical data sets and timestamps, then I don't think that's going to be a big deal. So since we have our get date function, then we can now write one subroutine and apply this for all cells, let's say in column E here. And I'm going to write here VBA UDF to have a header. And let's start writing a subroutine, which I will simply call extract dates. And since I will write a loop, I will have to find the last row. And I'll need one more variable for the loop. So the last row will be cells rows.count 1 and Excel up that row. And now we can write the loop. So for I equals to last row, next I. And column E is the 5th column. So here I can write cells on row I, column 5, that value equals get date cells on row I and column 2, that value. And if I click run, then we can see that we have extracted the dates. And we can also use VBA to change the format. So let's say if we're not sure, because sometimes it's quite confusing and we may not know if this is 10th of November or 11th of October. So maybe we can use a different format. And I will do this in column F. And for this, after we have extracted the date, then we can use the number format property and pass some different format here. So let's say I would like to see the date, and then I would like to see the month and the year. Okay, yeah, this should be comma here. And now let's see what's going to happen. Click run. And yeah, these now appear in a different format, and I think it's more understandable to see that this is actually 10th of November and not 11th of October. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, then please drop them in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.